Learning theory alone has important implications for managers, but organizational behavior modification has even more practical applications. Let's take a look. Behavior modification is the application of reinforcement theory to influence the behaviors of people in organizational settings. One aspect of behavior modification is the use of various kinds of reinforcement when employees are observed behaving in desired or undesired ways. This figure summarizes these kinds of reinforcement. There are 4 types of reinforcers as shown, both positive and negative, that present stimulus or remove stimulus, known as positive reinforcement, punishment, extinction, and negative reinforcement. Positive reinforcement involves the use of rewards to increase the likelihood that a desired behavior will be repeated. Negative reinforcement is based on the removal of current or future unpleasant consequences to increase the likelihood that someone will repeat a behavior. In other words, avoidance or removal of something undesirable can be motivating. Punishment is the application of negative outcomes to decrease the likelihood of a behavior. Finally, extinction involves the removal of other reinforcement, positive or negative, following the incidence of a behavior to be extinguished or to decrease the likelihood that the behavior would be repeated. For reinforcement to work, people must associate the reward with the behavior. In other words, people need to know exactly why they're receiving the reward. To best reinforce behavior, the reward should come as quickly as possible after the behavior. The reward can be almost anything and does not need to cost a lot of money, but it must be something desired by the recipient. Some of the most powerful rewards are symbolic, things that cost very little but mean a lot to the people who get them. Examples of symbolic rewards are things like plaques or certificates. Rewards also impact ethical behavior choices. Although multiple studies have shown that incentives can increase unethical behavior, the effect of rewards and punishments on ethical behavior are complex. Rewards do not always increase ethical behavior because the presence of the reward can undermine the intrinsic value of the ethical behavior itself. A continuous reinforcement schedule is one in which the desired behavior is reinforced each time that it occurs. A partial reinforcement schedule is one in which the desired behavior is reinforced only part of the time. There are 4 types of partial reinforcement schedules. Fixed ratio, where the desired behavior is reinforced after a specified number of correct responses. Fixed interval, where the desired behavior is reinforced after a certain amount of time has passed. A variable ratio, where the desired behavior is reinforced after an unpredictable number of behaviors. And finally, a variable interview, where the desired behavior is reinforced after an unpredictable amount of time has elapsed. To motivate the right behavior, an expert in behavior modification would identify the desired behaviors and then carefully reinforce them. This process includes 5 steps. Define the problem. What is it that could be improved? Identify and define the specific behaviors you wish to change. Record and track the occurrence of the target behavior. Analyze the current negative consequences of the undesired behavior and arrange for more positive consequences to follow the desired behavior, and evaluate whether the behavior has improved and by how much. In terms of behavior modification, any behavior can be understood as being a result of its consequences. In other words, as a manager, you get whatever behavior you're rewarding.